Welcome back, Road Transfer Black and White Network. Well, we're going to talk about a very left-wing, socialist-run San Francisco, and it's pretty clear some of the people that vote there are very radical and left-wing as well, as I bring you this story about this bakery. Also, we will touch on the fact that, guess what? Nordstrom is taking a massive, massive facility out of San Francisco. Homelessness, crime. They don't have quite the murder that Chicago does, but pretty much they check all the other boxes. And, you've got homeless people, for lack of a better way of putting it, and on this channel we keep it real. They just got homeless people walking around shitting on sidewalks and things like that. Yeah, I just come out and said it. I mean, it is what it is. People are moving out like they did. I mean, mandates may be coming back. I mean, is anybody that's even center to right going to be left in California at all, anywhere? Because it's just absurd. Why stay there? Taxes. It's clear the cities, they don't care about you in much the same way as Chicago. So we've got a bakery here. That's right, a business-owning bakery that has decided to give a double middle finger to uniformed police officers. Now, to give you an idea of how different they are versus how we are right here in Texas, if I walk into a donut shop and there's a cop in there or he comes walking in, you know what I may do? I may buy his donut and his coffee. Yeah, that may happen. But in San Francisco, oh, hell no. If you're a uniformed police officer, they tell you to get the hell out of their bakery. That's right. They don't want you there. They don't want uniformed police officers, and they are doing this under the veil of, we are doing this to protect people of color and queers. Literally, just putting it out there. And I shit you not, because look at this Outkick headline. Refuses to serve uniformed officers to protect people of color and queers. I'm floored. I'm floored. You want to talk about radical? That is radical. That is absurd. Man. I hate to root for anybody to go out of business, but if you do, you get what you had. You get what's coming to you. You do. So you mean to tell me you believe people feel less safe with a uniformed officer standing in your bakery waiting on a donut than if they weren't there? That is absurd. That is such a poisonous way of thinking. It is unfathomable that there are people out there that actually go down that road. Because unless you're doing something wrong, the officer's there to serve and protect. All right? A restaurant in San Francisco recently refused to serve a uniformed police officer. Police Union President Lieutenant Tracy McCray inquired about the incident at Reems, California in the Mission District, only to learn that the bakery's updated policy, quote, no cops allowed. Hell, here in Texas, you might go out. You would go out of business over this. I mean, it would turn into a bus stop from Total Recall. It would be so desolate and isolated. There would be nobody there. You would go out of business. Nuts. Reems confirms that they will not serve anyone armed and in uniform. Presumably, this includes members of the U.S. military. The San Francisco Police Officers Association says it has learned. The business even posted about the ban on Instagram, saying it instituted the policy against police as part of a, quote, deep commitment to uplifting social and racial justice in our communities. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Don't come crying to me when them doors shut. You get exactly what you deserve. The change representatives claim allowing police into the restaurants with their guns and uniforms would threaten the safety of I guess this is supposed to be people of color. Are the people of color trying to rob you? Because that's the only way I think it could threaten their safety, or trying to cause violence towards you. Otherwise, the officer is going to come in, order a donut, a cup of coffee, or get him a soda, and leave. That's so nuts. Quote, it's a time of increased gun violence. Yeah, not from the police, from the criminals, you lunatics. Particularly impacting people of color, youth, and queer people. God. Oh, jeez. We believe that maintaining a strict policy of prohibiting guns in our restaurant keeps us safer, says Reems. Then you and your leadership at that restaurant are morons. Because guess what? Criminals don't follow your gun laws or your gun policies. They don't care. They're going to walk into a restaurant and be like, you know what? No cops here. Nobody carrying here. We're going to walk in. We're going to blast 3 people that work there, rob the place, and walk out. Because they don't give a shit about your gun policies. Criminals are, in fact, criminals. I mean, they don't follow the law. That's sort of part of it. We thought Reems might provide a study about an increase in police violence inside restaurants to explain its decision. Unfortunately, the chain never cited how police eating donuts while in uniform has harmed queers and people of color, nor did it explain what members of the U.S. military, many of whom don't walk around with guns, has to do with, quote, racial justice. The policy is an obvious form of discrimination, but because it's discriminatory against officers, the press has had to express much outrage. I assume he means the press hasn't expressed much outrage. Yeah, the mainstream media is going to find this as brave, stunning, and courageous, I'm sure. They'll probably be lauded. The lunatics in San Francisco will probably celebrate this. Compare the coverage of the San Francisco bakery to the coverage of the Colorado baker who refused to make a wedding cake for a gay couple. Outlets like NPR will not stand for discrimination against gays, yet they have no comment on a bakery refusing service to officers and members of the military. Of course they're not going to say anything. Quote, we are not asking Reems or any business with a bigoted policy to serve our officers. The San Francisco police slammed back. We're asking them to own their discriminatory policy and put up a sign so we know not to spend our money in your establishment on our off-duty. We took the liberty of designing one for them. And, yeah, I've seen where they've come out and said whether they're, we're fine with the police coming in as long as they're off-duty and they're not armed. Nah, that's not going to work, okay? You just basically shit can and trapdoored all your current and former military business and all your current and former police officers. They all just trapdoored your business, right? They're not going to spend money at your establishment, whether they're uniformed or not. This is the exact reason why so many places in this country now are struggling to fill a police force, because the police are seeing this kind of hateful discrimination and rhetoric towards police officers in this country. They're fed up. They're saying this is not worth it. And this is also why crime is going up in this town, because police officers are going to leave. And this is the precedent that's set in Gavin Newsom's California. It's so absurd to me. It truly is. Democrat-run San Francisco loses Nordstrom's after 35 years. And you can bet exactly why. Nordstrom used a lot of cryptic gobbledygook to explain its decision to abandon Democratic-run San Francisco after 35 years. Due to left-wing policies involving crime and homelessness, The once-storied city by the bay is in a death spiral, along with every other left-wing city right now. We've seen businesses bounce out of Chicago. We know Seattle's a dumpster fire. We know Portland's a dumpster fire. We know LA's a dumpster fire. San Francisco's a dumpster fire. Increased crime and just letting homeless just take over. Just take over. When Nordstrom announced in May it was closing, a spokesman said that, quote, dynamics of the downtown San Francisco market have changed dramatically over the past several years, impacting customer foot traffic to our stores and our ability to operate successfully. No shit. Now, they're saying this isn't a run-of-the-mill storefront. This Nordstrom's is and was a 312,000 square foot, 5-story department store. Are you shitting me? A 300,000 plus square foot store, 5-story department store, an anchor store of the Westfield Mall. They're closing it. They're closing it because of all the craziness that's going on. The once bustling retail center in the heart of the city, San Francisco's center, has taken a significant hit in the past few years. Total sales have fallen from $455 million in 2019 to $298 million in 2022. Holy crap. That's $150 million in lost economy and revenue for that city. Foot traffic has plunged from 9.7 million visits to 5.6. It's nearly cut in half. Unbelievable. I mean, truly. We all know what's going to happen there, too. Look at all the loss of jobs. Look at the loss of jobs. White collar and blue collar that will be affected by that closing. And he goes on to talk about you refuse to punish your criminals. You demoralize the police. In action, you have decriminalized shoplifting, making any theft under $1,000 a misdemeanor, and you lock down your cities for no damn good reason. So Nordstrom's is fed up with San Francisco. Look, I mean, you're starting to see more and more shit about mask mandates and lockdowns, and all this crap is starting to build a fire as COVID variant election year cron is starting to make its way into the news cycle. We're starting to see that now more and more. Biden's up there running his mouth, and Gavin Newsom, he's dealing with a complete, I mean, it's just it's over. God, and they want, look, this is the guy, the governor out there. This is the guy the Democrats and the people that vote Democrat hope run for president. They think this son of a bitch is a beacon of shining light. I mean, my God, that's so nuts. But you know what? I've talked to people that live out there, or talked to people that know people that live out there, and a lot of these people that live out there, they're just as loony as the people making the policies. I mean, they're willing to just scoop shit right into their mouth and vote Democrat. It's crazy as hell. And the people, I mean, the cities are just getting bluer because the people that are moderates and right-leaners and Republicans and conservatives, they're booking the hell out of California. They're not only leaving San Francisco, they're getting the hell out of the state. Don't blame them. I mean, you're saying as a taxpayer in San Francisco, take my money and just light it on fire. Don't do a damn thing with it. Don't improve my life living in this city. In fact, make it worse. Make me less safe. Let the economy in my city tank. You voted for it. You deserve it. I mean, let's just be honest. Tell me what you think, Black and White Network supporters. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.